Good morning, guys. I just got up for the day. It is 7:30 on Thirsty Thursday, and I got up craving some butter coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and film myself making that, and that's what we'll do today for Thirsty Thursday. So let's go on and get into it.
Good morning. I thought we'd make some butter coffee together, and this morning I'm gonna do pumpkin spice, and yeah, I like mine just a bit strong. Alright, while that's going, we'll go ahead and get our other ingredients together. We're going to use some MCT oil, two pumps is 1 tablespoon. Then we're going to use some pumpkin spice skinny syrup, just 2 pumps. Again, that's 1 tablespoon. Then I use, this is my own homemade creamer, and it is a mix between heavy whipping cream and 3 parts unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And we're going to put in 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of Kerrygold butter. This is frozen, so I'm probably going to have not 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I even said 2 tablespoons. Just because everything else is 2 pumps, 2 pumps, 2 tablespoons, and I just had 2 on the brain here. Forgot to get my little measuring bowl out. So let's tare that. Okay, and then 28 grams is what, 14, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys can even see that. But 14 grams is what we're going to put in there. There's 5. There's 8.7. We're almost there. That's 15.7. 14.2. We're close enough with that. Okay. Now, I try to save my Kerrygold butter for my coffee. I just tend to cook with my Great Value or Aldi brand butter for anything else for cooking, but in my coffee there is, to me, a flavor difference. So I like to enjoy the Kerrygold when I'm doing my butter coffee. I'm going to pop this in the microwave for just 30 seconds here. And I went because I'd had too many incidents of where it almost overflowed. So I got me this nice thing from IKEA when I was there the other day, and it's a tempered glass for hot water. So that way my coffee can brew in there instead of me trying to whip it into here. So now that that's done, I'm going to put these things that I've already measured out into this container along with my butter. Oh, that didn't melt. So I'm going to pour it into here and do my whipping in there and then pour it back into my cup. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this butter because that hot coffee will finish melting it. Alrighty. This frother, I'm telling you what, it is the best thing I bought myself in a long time. It just really, emulsifies this butter into the coffee so much better than if you just whip it. And it really does stay separated once you use one of these, as opposed to just trying to mix it in with a spoon. Now I used to use stevia in it a lot, but that skinny syrup is so sweet, I don't need anything else in it anymore. So I still get my stevia, but I am definitely drifting away from it. Alrighty. And this is my breakfast for this morning. See? Oh, perfection. And I would not have been able to whip that in the container. Yeah, I'd have made a mess, which I have in the past, made quite a few messes. Alrighty, I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee and I will talk to you guys later. For lunch, we're having leftovers.
Butter is healthy. I use it on mornings when I'm just not wanting to prepare a full breakfast, or I'm hungry but not that hungry, or I want to go out with friends later and I've got quite a few hours to get to where I want to have a full meal and I want to save all those macros, the carbs and the fat and the well, not fat because I'm having fat, but carb and protein to go out for a meal. So I can have this butter coffee in place of a full breakfast, and it'll get me through those hours. It'll carry me 4 to 5 hours most of the time for myself. So what I put in here, which you saw it all in the video, is MCT oil. Now that has 140 calories per tablespoon, and then that good old Kerrygold butter, and that has 100 calories per, 14 grams. I don't know if I can get this where you guys are going to see that packaging very well, but 100 calories for 14 grams. So that gives us 240 calories in there. And then I use one of the syrups, whether it be Torini's or skinny syrup, but I use whatever one matches my coffee. I had used pumpkin spice coffee, so I used pumpkin spice syrup, and I have caramel coffee, and I have chocolate coffee, and I've got all kinds of coffees. So I have syrups to match. And then I use my homemade coffee creamer, which is just 1 part heavy whipping cream, 3 parts unsweetened vanilla almond milk, or you can get chocolate almond milk, or you can get plain almond milk, but make your own coffee creamer. Mix it with some of the syrups if you want a flavored one, or do what I do and leave it just with that hint of vanilla. It's not enough to overshadow anything that I'm using, and then you have yourself that decadent coffee creamer that we all love. But for me, there's a lot of people that don't approve of the butter coffee. They're like, you should be eating your calories. Well, I can see their point in that. And calories in versus calories out really does matter. But when you're eating this lifestyle, you can afford to have more calories. When I was eating the standard American diet and trying to follow all those parameters, eating a 1,200 calorie diet, I was actually gaining weight and struggling, and the cravings was horrible. Now I let my calories ebb and flow. I fluctuate. I try to stay above 1,500 on most days. So there's days when you're doing an intermittent fasting day, you're not getting anywhere near that. But on most days when I'm eating, I let it above 15, try to tap it out at 1,800. So that's well over on those higher cal days, 500 calories, 600 calories more than what I was having eating the standard American diet. And I'm still losing weight. I have lost 83 pounds in 7 months. So you can enjoy your butter coffee. I don't have it every day, but make it work for you. All this stuff, plan your meals and make the stuff work for you. And on high fat days, the butter coffee makes it where the next day I'm so satiated from the day before, the next day I'm hardly hungry. And those are the days when I end up doing the intermittent fasting. It falls in naturally, and I am able to fast 36, 48 hours. It's just whatever you feel. Eat according to what your body needs. If it's hungry, feed it. If it's not, don't eat. And if you're not sure, have yourself a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a big old glass of water, your ketoade. Make sure you're supplementing your electrolytes, especially on days when you're trying to fast. So enjoy that ketoade, and I'll link the recipe to my ketoade in this video below in the description box. So if you haven't heard of it, or you're new to my channel and you don't have the recipe yet, you can get it. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go so I can enjoy my butter coffee before it gets cold. Oh, and in my video, I had realized after I said it, and it was too far in to go back and correct myself, I said something about I love that little frother because it allows the stuff to stay separated. That is not what I meant to say. It allows the stuff to stay incorporated, and it emulsifies it. So that way you don't have a separation and you don't have that greasy top sitting there. Now, if you let it sit too long, if you come back at it 2 hours later and it gets cold, yeah, it's gonna separate out on you. But if you just stir it up with a spoon instead of using some kind of frother or blender, immersion blender, something to magic bullet, something to that degree, it's going to separate if you just try to stir it in there. And you're going to have this fatty, greasy top that I honestly do. I don't mind that at all. So that's how I used to have it before I got that blender. And I didn't mind it because I love the flavor of that Kerrygold butter. And I love the flavor of real coconut oil, not the MCT oil. There's no flavor in this. But before I got that, and I was using organic cold pressed coconut oil, the flavor of the coconut, I loved what it did to my coffee. And there's times where I'll still go back and have that. Even though I've got the MCT oil, I'll have that because I like the flavor of it. So yeah, I misspoke. So it doesn't keep it separated. It keeps it emulsified. It keeps it blended. Alrighty guys, I hope this video was helpful. Enjoy your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow on Fashion Friday. Blessings.